we have some time for questions of like people to line up. While you do that, I'll ask the question that came online. By Animesh Mukherjee, he thanks you for the talk and says, what types of linguistic knowledge went into the design of the two problems that you tackled? And what were some of the linguistic discoveries, observations, generalizations that you could infer from this?
Yeah, so that's a reasonable question. I mean, these aren't great examples. These aren't great examples. I mean, the India work in particular, that's not about linguistic insight. That's machine learning work of coming up with a different way to do the alignment of language models. I mean, I think that's not as true. And actually, those as having some linguistic ideas of word sense, context, and how to manipulate them. But I think there are other pieces of work that I didn't talk about today, including the ideas that it was the one bullet point of the Çрақ-Մրդի work as to how to think of a different form model that does better systematic generalization, that is more aligned to sort of linguistic thinking, that we still want to somehow better model the recursive structure of language. So maybe if anyone wants more of that, that paper on push-down transformers, which is also presented here, might be a better example to look at it.
Hi, thanks for the inspiring talk. So my question is about what is the linguistic explanation behind RLS reporting so well? What's so special about this reference kind of data?
So the thing about the preference, why the preference data has been useful is that it gives you a real notion of badness in contrast to goodness. So that if you only have positive examples of things to do, you kind of have you just have a language model that produces stuff, that you have sort of no conception of where that falls off into stuff that you should do, right? And well, there's a good side to that. That's why a plain large language model can just creatively produce text. You can say, tell me a story where I was, born in New Zealand and I grew up raising sheep or something, and it'll generate a story for you. But it doesn't work when you get in the context of, well, you want to tune a language model so it doesn't say toxic things, it isn't racist, it isn't sexist, etc. That you really want to then have a contrast between good things and bad things. And that's where the pairwise learning has been very useful. And at least so far, it seems to be the best way to do it.
Thank you for the great talk. I'm a researcher from Çãi~Në~Mobile. I have a quick question so for so many years, the community is trying to think what really means for language understanding. Now we come back to kind of understand the model. Is there a formal definition or classification of what means understanding model? Based on that, also, because while we deploy the larger model in this, the controllability is way more important to actually really understand the model. What do you think of that connection? Is that controllability? Is that the level of word understanding? Is it possible we can better control the model without fully understanding it? Thank you.
Okay, yeah. So maybe partly you've got me. Yeah, I mean, what understanding a model means, I think, is ultimately kind of unclear. I mean, I think it means that a human has some sense of why a model is doing what it's doing in various respects. But I think to some extent, as the models get larger and more complex, full understanding is difficult. And the fact of the matter is, understanding necessarily ends up requiring layers of abstraction, because by the time you've got, here is a 70 billion parameter model, A human can't understand it in terms of knowing what's happening with every weight of the model as things are going on. That's sort of a completely reductionist take that's ridiculous. So somehow you have to have a higher level sense of roughly how things fit together. And that's probably what we do when understanding the world, and such as understanding other people as well. So I'm happy to agree with you that really the important thing in the real world is that you have controllability, that you can know how to change the behavior, get the kind of effects that you're wanting to avoid the model doing bad things.
Thank you.
I'll take another